Today, I want to talk about the most important lens in my camera bag, and one that I think is essential for portraits. A 50mm. Now, this video isn't about this specific Sony 50, but just a wide aperture 50mm. And I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you should have a lens like this in your camera bag. Reason number 1, every manufacturer makes a 50mm prime lens with a wide aperture that is pretty affordable. And optically, you get a very good lens for the price. Most 50mm lenses are very sharp, they have a nice wide aperture, and most of them are pretty small and light, and so they don't take up much space in your camera bag. Now, with a prime lens, like a fixed 50mm, you're not gonna have the ability to zoom, and so you're gonna have to walk around to change your composition, but I don't really see this as a con. And I typically recommend a prime 50mm to all new photographers when they're asking me for advice about what they should get. I think having a fixed lens really helps you improve your composition. You can't just stand still and zoom. It really makes you move around, and it just makes you think about composition a little bit more. Reason number 2 to pick up a lens like this is that a fixed 50mm prime will give you a nice wide aperture. Most 50mm are made from around f1.2 to f1.8, and that wide aperture is going to give you that nice blurry background, that sort of dreamy cinematic look that you see in a lot of portraits. And having that faster aperture will also let you shoot in lower light. So if you like shooting nighttime scenes, or even in blue hour after the sun sets a little bit, that fast aperture is going to let you keep shooting handheld with faster shutter speeds, compared to a zoom, even a good zoom lens that's f2.8. At f1.8, you're getting a full stop of light, and that's the difference between shooting at 1/30th of a second or 1/60th. Reason number 3 is that a 50mm is a super versatile lens. This is the lens that's on my camera probably 80% of the time that I'm shooting, maybe more than that. And not just portraits. I love shooting portraits, but I also love shooting landscapes, or when we travel, I'm shooting street photography, just all kinds of stuff. The 50mm is great at just about everything. And then I have some wider lenses or some longer lenses if I need them, but this one is on my camera the most. Now, reasons number 4 and 5 kind of blend in with reason number 3. Part of what makes this so versatile is that it sits right in the middle in terms of focal length. It's not a wide lens and it's not a telephoto lens. It's somewhere right in the middle, typically called a normal lens. And it just gives you a field of view that's very useful for a lot of different types of photography. With just this lens on my camera, I can move in close to a subject and get a nice tight headshot, and then take a few steps back and get a wider shot that brings in some of the environment and helps tell the story of my subject. And that's sort of reason number 4. You can get headshots and environmental shots all on this one lens. Reason number 5, the last reason I love this lens, a 50mm right in the middle of that focal length range is very close to how the human eye sees. So when people see photos from a 50mm, it's a very comfortable perspective for them. That's how they see the world. And so you're not throwing off your viewer with distorted or unusual perspectives, something ultra wide or super zoomed in telephoto. It's just a very comfortable viewing experience, and I feel like that normalcy just helps the viewer sort of fall into a photo, and they can really connect with the subject. Most of the photos from a 50 are taken at like a normal conversational distance, so when people view the photos, they just feel very comfortable with it, and that's one of my favorite things about a 50. They're not distracted, and they can really just view your portrait and your subject naturally. So if I convinced you to add a 50mm prime to your kit, let me know down in the comments. That's all I got for this video. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.